What is up, everyone? So this is the full framework on how to build muscle while losing fat. Now, look at this. We've got a whole presentation for you guys going over everything from training, nutrition, activity level, recovery, breaking plateaus, consistency and discipline, and then also when to stop and how to transition into the next phase. So I'm gonna break it all down for you. And this is literally the framework that I tell my clients and I tell myself, right? I use it to get this result. This is my client Seb. And then over here, my client Henrik. Over here, somewhere around here is my client Isaac as well, we've also used these frameworks. So guys, it works. And I'm about to give you all the sauce right now. So first up, we got training, okay? We got to talk about workout split. All right, so first of all, no matter how many days you go, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, you want to be hitting your muscles hard. So if you want to go 3 days a week, you can do that. Chest and back, shoulders and arms, and then legs and abs. We don't need that. And then, or you could do push pull legs. That's cool. Or if you want to do 4 days a week, chest, biceps, back, triceps, shoulders, abs, legs, or upper, lower, upper, lower. Then 5 days, if you want to go to the gym 5 days a week, upper, lower, push pull legs, or bro split. Here's a picture of me training, doing a nice chest and bicep day. I'm currently on the bro split and I'm finding it working very well. So yeah. So once you have this workout split, you can't just hit the gym randomly. You need to do progressive overload. So we can see here, this is progressive overload. So week one, say you do 8 reps of 10 kg. The next weight, you want to do 10 reps of 10 kg. So you're doing more reps. So you can either increase the weight, the reps, the sets, the form, as in like how good your form is on the movement, or the tempo, slow it down. So look, week one, 8 reps, 10 kg. Then we're going to add some reps. Then the next week, we're going to add some reps with the same weight. And then once we hit 12 reps of 10 kg, time to up the weight. So back to 8 reps, 12 kg, 10 reps, and repeat. So look at that. Take a picture of this. Make sure you do this for every single exercise that you do. So that's that. Again, you can increase the weights, the reps, the sets, and the form every single week. And as long as you're doing that, you're going to be making progress. Next up, let's go to nutrition. All right, so nutrition is literally 80% of the battle, right? So first of all, when it comes to nutrition, you want to be making sure you're eating the right amount of calories. So you can go to tdeecalculator.net, fill in your activity level, your height, your weight, just like this. Look, age, weight, height, activity level, and then you can kind of guess. It's very hard to estimate this, but you might as well. And you can find this out by just looking up body fat percentage, and then you'll find a bunch of examples and pick the body fat percentage that looks closest to you. Or if you have a DEXA scan, which is pretty rare, but if you do have that, you can fill in that number here. So if you've got more fat to lose, eat in a 500 calorie deficit below your maintenance. So whatever your maintenance is, what the number is spit out here, 500 calories less if you've got a lot of fat to lose. That's going to allow you to lose about 1 pound of fat a week. If you got a little bit of fat to lose and you don't have that much muscle, then 250 calorie deficit below your maintenance. If you got more skinny than fat, as in you have a bit of fat on you, but you are really, really skinny, maybe it's actually good for you to bulk up. So 200 calories above your maintenance, and then maybe later down along the road, you can do a potential mini cut. So here we're going to be packing on muscle. 200 calories is quite low, meaning you're only going to be packing on muscle, very minimal fat gain. And then if you do feel like you put on too much fat, do a bit of a mini cut with like more like 500 calorie deficit or 250 calorie deficit, and then go back to bulking after you drop 4 to 5 pounds of fat. So what should your macros look like, right? What are macros? Protein, carbs, and fats. So protein should be 1 gram of protein per pound of your body weight. Why is this so important? Because with doing this, when we have enough protein, we're going to actually be building new muscle and keeping the current muscle we have on. If you lose a bunch of weight, but your protein's low, you're going to lose muscle and fat. We just want to lose fat, not weight, aka lose fat, not muscle. If we lose muscle, we're just not going to look any better. But if we're trying to look amazing, have that aesthetic physique, protein needs to be high so that we only lose fat, revealing the muscle underneath. Carbs should be 30 to 45% of your total calories. Fat should be 25 to 35% of your total calories. Protein helps you build muscle and keep new muscle on. Plenty of other benefits like regeneration of skin and literally so many things. I'm not going to go into it. Carbs help you with your energy and fats help you with your hormones, just to keep it simple. So if you ever cut your fat super, super low, your testosterone is probably going to crash and it needs to be high enough. So for example, 250 calories at 180 pounds, say you're on a calorie deficit, you need to get 180 grams of protein because 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, 250 grams of carbs, which is um, around the percentage which we talked below, and then 87 grams of fat. Here you're going to have a nice balance of equal protein, carbs, and fat so that you feel energized, your testosterone is optimized while losing weight, and that your protein is high enough. The biggest thing though is just focus on the protein. Carbs and fats can fall into place, right? For example, this is me. I always try to get around 174 to 180 grams every single day. And then when it comes to carbs and fats, like as long as I'm getting around 180 to 200 and then 75 to 85 grams of fats, like it really is all good. It doesn't need to be super, super exhaust. And here's a picture of some delicious protein at Korean barbecue. And I actually want to dive into this because you might think, okay, it's just pure protein. But look, right here, we've got some carbs from the pineapple. And then this piece of beef is not just protein, but there's also fats. So notice like meals like this actually include not just a bunch of protein, but also carbs and also some fats, maybe in the marinade or in the meat as well. So here are the best food sources, right? For proteins, carbs, and fats. When it comes to proteins, plain Greek yogurt, super solid, eggs, edamame is not bad either, protein powder, and of course you got our meats like our chicken, our beef, our fish, things of that nature. You could say this is our eat some category where, this is not the worst stuff to eat, right? It's good for snacks, but it's not like the cleanest source of protein. But as long as like 80% of your diet is in the whole foods category, you're going to be good. And then things like, fried chicken, hot dogs, Slim Jims, like super processed, like a million different ingredients. Same with chips, candy bars, pastries, sugar candy, chips, more candy bars, and then pastries again. Like that's not the best stuff just because it's not very nutrient dense. I'm not saying it's unhealthy, but I'm saying it doesn't have a ton of nutrients, which means you might not feel as full after, right? Compared to on our other side of the spectrum, fresh fruit, you know, even dried fruit, which is not too which is not too bad, whole grain bread like potatoes, sweet potatoes, whole grain pasta. That stuff is going to fill you up because it's got fiber in it. Fiber basically just keeps you full and it's found in whole foods, especially whole carbs. So fruit and also potatoes, vegetables, super, super solid. And then when it comes to our fat, hummus is a solid one. Mixed nuts, nut butters, peanuts, olive oil. These are super, super solid, right? And then, these are kind of our snacks, which we can have every once in a while, but should not be the majority of our diet. So how do we fit in, say, a meal out? This looks like a beautiful picture of IHOP, which I put in. So what you want to do is actually plan out your meals the day before. You want to track everything in MyFitnessPal. Yes, you need to use MyFitnessPal if you want to get jacked, if you want to look fit. You need to track your calories on MyFitnessPal. All right, so if you have a meal out the next day, plan out your meals on MyFitnessPal. Then just leave 800 to 1100 calories for a meal out, right? Literally type in MyFitnessPal how you're gonna hit your protein goal for the day, and this is what I tell all my clients to do every single day. And then just leave 1,000 calories, mostly of carbs and fats, just so that you can enjoy like a night out. So if you want to go get pasta, you haven't eaten a lot of carbs or fats for the day, so that you can go eat that meal of pasta. You're gonna be good. Let's take a look at our supplements. So these are the only supplements that you should really ever try unless you have a medical condition and your doctor prescribes you different ones. So when it comes to our actual supplements, right, for overall health, it's good to have a multivitamin. When you're eating a lot of whole foods, fruits, vegetables, healthy fat sources, healthy proteins, you're going to get most of your micronutrients in, but it's always nice to just have that insurance and get a multivitamin, right? So literally look up like multivitamin on Amazon it's like, for example, men's adult multivitamin, and go buy that one. Like buy the gummies, like those taste good. That's a super solid one, and that's one I have. To optimize your testosterone, you want to get zinc. I would get 25 milligrams, take one of those a day. Getting too much can actually be counterproductive. So we only want to get, 25 milligrams every single day. Vitamin D3, 5,000 IUs a day, which means 5 of those little 1,000 IU pills, or just go in the sun for 30 minutes and get that sunlight on your skin. But if you live somewhere like me, like I'm in Canada, it's not always sunny for half the year, so I have to do vitamin D3. If you feel like you're stressed out, you can try ashwagandha, but just know it's not a long-term solution, and you're better just learning how to de-stress in more natural ways, like getting better sleep, relaxing, winding down, and solving your problems in life to feel less stressed instead of relying on ashwagandha. And then for sleep, magnesium, 250 grams of magnesium glycinate, and you can take this every day before you go to sleep. It's going to help your muscles relax, and with that, you'll get a nice deeper sleep. This is tried and true, and I've tried it myself. When it comes to other supplements, caffeine, solid in the morning if you want to use it for appetite suppressant or use it for a bit of energy. I would take it an hour and a half after I wake up. So, cup of coffee an hour and a half after you wake up so that you don't get that caffeine crash. And again, it does stimulate appetite suppressant as well. So when you get caffeine, you're not as hungry. Caffeine generally is one of the only supplements that does work. When it comes to pre-workout, right, and caffeine as well. So you don't want to be taking these 8 hours or less before you go to sleep. Otherwise, it's going to interfere with your sleep, and obviously, if you get bad sleep, it's going to be interfering with your recovery, and we're going to dive into that in a little bit. But there's stimulant pre-workout versus non-stim. Stim means caffeine. Non-stim just means other ingredients that help with the pump. So these can be good if you want to just have a better workout. Honestly, quite a bit of time. If you feel like you don't need the energy, then a non-stim is cool. But if you want the energy before a pre-workout, you can use the stimulate caffeine pre-workout, or you could just have a cup of coffee and a banana, and that gets like 80% of the job done, right? So if you want a nice pump in the gym, take some non-stim. It's cool. So if you want to look stronger, if you want to have more water in your muscle and actually be stronger and have other mental benefits, 5 grams of creatine every single day. It is not drugs. It is a fantastic supplement. You will not go bald. You will not get any organ damage. 5 grams of creatine every single day, no matter who you are. You need to hop on that right now. You are just going to be stronger, look better, and you're going to have better cognitive benefits. And then lastly, we've got protein powder, literally the king of supplements. Super good if you can't get enough protein through whole foods, right? Because I understand that getting 180 grams of protein can be difficult. That's when a scoop of protein powder, 1 or 2 a day, can be useful. Also, make a meal taste way better. So yeah, this is a solid one. Tastes super good, Ghost. But honestly, like, you don't need to get the world's best protein powder. You just need to make sure that it's got a good amount of protein in it. And a good ratio is 120 calories for 30 grams of protein. If you can find that, maybe at Costco, Superstore, Safeway, GNC, or like a supplement store, you're going to be good. Okay, let's talk about activity level. So when it comes to your activity level, right, what should it look like? The easiest thing that you can start doing to start burning fat is just increasing your steps to 3,000 plus 3,000 every single day. So if you're doing 6,000 a day, up to 9,000, right? And just like that, you're going to be burning an extra 150 calories a day. Throughout the week, you'll probably drop another quarter pound of fat just by walking for 20 minutes more a day. It makes a big difference. This is the other day. I got so many steps and I was much leaner that next day. You don't have to get 27,000 steps. This was just after a huge meal, and me and my cousin were walking literally for hours because we were so full of Korean barbecue. You can also invest in a walking pad. Say you work from home, instead of just sitting all day, get a walking pad so that you can work while on your standing desk. This is actually a game changer, and do not overlook this. I've been doing this recently. My steps have been way, way, way up. Some other ways to get more steps: park further away from your job, from your work, from literally any place you drive to. Just park further away from the grocery store. Totally, totally cool. You can hit a little morning walk as soon as you wake up, get some fresh air in the morning. So many benefits to starting your day off with some fresh air. You're going to feel good. Evening walk, or walking after every single meal, or at least 1 to 2 meals. After breakfast, 10-minute walk outside. After dinner, 10-minute walk outside. And then another thing you could do is walk 5 minutes every hour. So say you're working, right? Work for the first 55 minutes and then take a 5-minute break, just walk around the office, walk around outside. You're going to be feeling good, right? And then you can also walk between your sets during your workouts. Now, once you get to 15,000 steps a day and you're not losing weight anymore, and you don't want to lower your calories anymore, if you're bulking, like, you don't need to do this much at all. You just need to eat. But let's say that you want to cut down, you want to drop body fat, and you're already doing this many steps. It's time to add difficulty, either through the Stairmaster or the incline treadmill. So for the speeds for that incline treadmill, 3.2 miles per hour, 8 incline, and then Stairmaster, 8 to 11. So you're going to slowly start replacing your steps from 15K to 20K a day with using these, right? So start tracking your cardio, maybe 30 minutes. You can work out from 5 minutes a day all the way up to 35 to 40 minutes a day. Right now, I'm on my cut doing 35 minutes a day on the incline treadmill, and it's working right now. But this is very rare, only if you reach this amount of steps first, or you can burn calories faster doing these just because it is more difficult because there is like such an incline. So if you don't want to walk this much, you can also add these in and then start with 5 minutes, 10 minutes after every single workout. Okay, next up we got recovery. So important. The biggest thing you can do for your recovery is literally just sleep 8 hours a night. And 8 hours a night means 9 hours in bed. Because if you think about it, say you sleep from 10 to 6, the second you put your head down on the pillow at 10 p.m., you don't fall asleep instantly. Maybe it takes you 10, 15, 20 or longer minutes to fall asleep. And then maybe there's a bit of disruptions at night, and maybe you wake up a bit before your alarm. That's going to equal out to actually 7 hours asleep, 8 hours in bed. So what I want you to do is actually spend 9 hours physically lying down in your bed, because what this is going to do is actually allow you to get 8 hours of sleep. So 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. lying down in bed, because you'll actually get about 8 hours of sleep. And if you want to track your sleep with like an Oura Ring or an Apple Watch, highly recommend you do that as well. Not forever, but just at the start, just to see how your activity or just to see how your sleep is. And then another thing you could do is just stretch 5 minutes after every single workout. We all have 5 minutes to stretch, and the benefits of this are just you're going to be feeling less sore. So if you feel like you deal with soreness and you have mobility issues, right, 5 minutes of stretching is huge. And then when it comes to getting better sleep, you can do morning sunlight. So this is a very good protocol for getting better sleep. First of all, we got morning sunlight. When you go out and get sunlight into your eyes at the start of the day, this is actually it's going to tell your body to like more regulate the melatonin process. So that means later at night, you'll have a more natural like wind down, like automatic wind down, because you start your melatonin process early in the day by getting sunlight, and it regulates your circadian rhythm. I know that all sounds a bit or a bit like scientific, and it is. So if you want to get better sleep, simply get 10 minutes of sunlight in the morning, looking towards the brightness, not directly at the sun, but towards the brightness of the sky. No drinking or eating. So no eating 3 hours before bed, no drinking 1 hour before bed. This is so you're not digesting when you sleep, and so you're not waking up in the middle of the night to use the washroom while you're asleep. No phone 1 hour before bed. This is for two reasons. Number one, if you're on your phone getting all that blue light into your eyes, it's going to push your melatonin process back, making you might be tired, but you won't be able to fall asleep because you got that blue light in your system. Also, when your phone isn't in your room before you go to bed, you're probably going to be scrolling less and actually have nothing else to do but go to sleep. And what you can do instead of scrolling is read maybe a self-development book so that you can actually level up instead of scrolling brain rot. It's huge. And then lastly, having a colder temperature in your room, because what this is going to do is just help with deeper sleep, right? We like when you think about it, like ancestors, like we were sleeping in caves because it was cooler and it wasn't absolutely boiling, right? We all know how it feels to wake up in the middle of the night with like a sweat. That absolutely sucks. And doing a cold temperature will allow you to get deeper sleeps. Okay, excuse me, I'm a little sick right now. When it comes to breaking plateaus, right? Say you try to lose weight and you've been stuck at the same weight and you want to drop down. You've been stuck at, say, 180 pounds for the last 2 weeks and you're doing everything you can and weight just doesn't seem to go down. What you can do is actually reassess everything you're doing. Am I actually getting 9 hours in bed, 8 hours of sleep? Am I tracking everything accurately? Am I not estimating, but actually tracking everything I put into my mouth? Drinks, butter, oils, food, everything. I'm not just snacking throughout the day. Am I training super hard as I can in the gym until I can't do any more reps and getting stronger? If you're doing all of those, then only we can move on. But if you have been slacking with your sleep, if you've been slacking with your workouts or your diet, do not just lower calories or increase cardio. Go back and dial in your sleep, fitness, and nutrition. But if you actually are doing everything, that's okay. Your body does adjust. What I suggest you do is wait a week, because you might be able to squeeze out a bit more gains of the current protocol that you're already doing. So maybe you can lose another half pound without lowering calories or increasing cardio. And that's just going to be great because that's basically free progress without having to eat less or move more. And then once that stalls, then you can actually increase your calories, or no, increase your calories if you're bulking, or decrease your calories if you're cutting by 100 a day. So if you're bulking, you go from 2400 to 2500, but if you're cutting on 2500, cut that down by 100 to get to 2400 calories a day. You could also increase your steps instead of cutting your calories, or you could do both for super fast progress. Increase steps to 2000 steps a day. So instead of 8,000 steps to 10,000 steps a day. And then if you could also increase your cardio, add another 5 minutes a day. So instead of doing 10 minutes a day, that's 15. There we go. When it comes to being consistent and disciplined, this is the last one I'm going to talk about, because you can have all the information that I just broke it down, like that I just broke down to you, right? But if you don't stick with it, there's no point. If you can't make progress and you're not disciplined, well, obviously you're not going to make progress no matter how much knowledge you have. So you actually need to implement, and you actually need to execute on the stuff we talked about. That's why it's so important to have someone who keeps you accountable. And that's what I have, like my clients. This is Henrik, who lost 22 pounds in 10 weeks because I was always on his ass. I was calling him when he didn't want to go to the gym. I was saying, bro, go to the gym. Like, get your food in, get your sleep in. No matter what, like when he didn't feel motivated, I was on him. And so many of us men do not have that type of support system. We might have a gym bro who goes with us, but it's not the same. Like, they're not calling us they're not calling us every day to wake us up, to get us motivated, to keep making sure that we're feeling good mentally and physically, and also like that we're not stressed out. Like, that's not a level of, like, typically that level of friendship isn't there of a gym bro. That's why it's important to have a coach, right? Of course, I believe in coaching because I have my own coach. I'm a coach myself, but I have my own coach, because sometimes we just have so much going on in our life and we need a bit of guidance. And that's when that extra accountability, you know, have someone to adjust your progress, to have someone to check in on you, to have someone to make sure that everything is all right, so you don't have to think as much and just keep the thinking out of it, is huge. Another thing you can do is have a strong why and actually visualize. So what you can do, say you absolutely hate the way you look, what you can do every morning is literally like remember that feeling. Close your eyes, think, I hate how I look. You're visualizing that. Visualize how it would feel to not change, to get in worse shape. Think and feel how bad that feels, and then visualize how good it feels to actually achieve that goal, to actually get shredded, to actually feel attractive, to actually love the way you look. Think of this. Think of your why every single morning. Think about what's going to happen if you make a change versus not make a change. If you get shredded versus get more fat, get more skinny, right? Every single day, visualize this when you feel like you're not feeling motivated. So that is the entire framework that I give my clients. And obviously, like, there might be a little more details here and there, but overall, that is it. How do I get this to go away? There we go. Overall, that is the whole framework. And if you feel like this is a lot to implement and you really don't know, oh, my bad. Okay, actually, when to stop. Okay, so when do you stop cutting or bulking? When your desired physique is achieved, when you get shredded, when you finally like the way you look, or if you feel like you're too fat, too skinny, and you're always hungry all the time. What you can do is just do something called a diet break and go back to maintenance for 2 weeks. So go back to the maintenance calories that we found at the start using TDEE calculator, and then keep your protein up, increase your carbs a little bit, or decrease your carbs if you're bulking, and then start again, cut down again, lower calories again, and see how it goes. And then, or you could switch priorities, right? So say like you're too fat, or you've gained too much weight during your bulk, or you've lost so much weight that you feel like skinny and tired and hungry all the time. Maybe it's time to bulk, or maybe it's time to cut. So if you feel like you're feeling like crap, it's probably time to switch priorities, right? So right here, this is where Isaac, like, we bulked up from this to this. He packed on like 23 pounds. Once we got to about here, we decided, okay, the bulk is done. It's time to cut down. So he had more fat. No, he had less muscle than he did fat. So we had to make sure to build up his muscle to get him from this to this. So that's what we did. We did the bulk first, but it's going to depend on everything. And then you're just going to repeat, cut to bulk, bulk to cut. So I know that this is a lot of information, and if you feel like you want help implementing all of this into your already busy life, like my client Seb, Henrik, myself, and also Isaac have done, then simply book a call in the link below, and then we'll chat about how we can implement this into your life. So if that feels like something interesting to you, book a call in the link below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.